のように侍は
何者？宮本武蔵、左門智則が成敗してくれる。いざ未熟戻れ。
Samurai Reincarnation is a 1981 film from the director of Kinji Fukasaku. In case you didn't know, Fukasaku is the same director that gave us classics like Battle Royale, Battles Without Honor and Humanity, and a whole bunch of other gangster films. But this film is more horror action, if that's even a genre. From the very first scene in which 37,000 people are just massacred, the camera just pans over this wasteland that's just populated by severed heads. It's terrifying and it's pretty messed up, and you know exactly what you're about to be in for. I've noticed that Japanese period films from around, the 70s, early 80s, I feel like those films are just masterful in terms of set design and cinematography. And I'll say Samurai Reincarnation does exactly that. So this is just one of the 7 films that you get from the new Sonny Chiba Blu-ray box set. And I'll say this has turned out to be a pretty great purchase. I'm glad I was able to get one. So if you were able to find it, pick one up.
剣の道を一言ご教示賜りたく、ご案内をお願い申す。
The first thing to notice about this film is there's a lot of heavy-hitting actors of Chambara. You get Sonny Chiba, of course, he's great. He's a badass like always. Here he's reprising his role as the Yagyu Jubei from the Yagyu conspiracy film. You also got Kanagata. He's also in Shogun's Shadow, that's also in the box set. Here he plays Miyamoto Musashi. There's also Hiroyuki Sanada. He's just a massive star. And also Tomisaburo Wakayama from the Lone Wolf and Cub series. There's just a lot of fun with this film, especially just the fight scenes. In particular, the flaming castle at the end, just wow. And the script itself is just filled with a lot of, mystical, supernatural stuff. The film is based on the book titled Makai Tenshō. The story itself is sort of a pseudo-historical variation of the Christian rebellions during the opening years of the Tokugawa shogunate. And it covers just the brutal outcome of that horrific event. Where just thousands upon thousands of Christians were murdered by the shogunate. It's glossed over, but when you think about it, Japan really was an oppressive country. It did not like any foreign influence, and it did so for the majority of its history. And just how it committed genocide on an entire religion, it's just crazy. And it's just here, right after all this bloody aftermath, where the story really begins. So it opens up with a scene where just this mysterious ritual is being performed. It's an insane premise, but the leader of the Christian rebellion, Shiro Magasu, returns from the dead to exact his revenge on the shogunate. He promises the destruction of Japan and all of its rulers. But before that can happen, he must gather his advisors, the tortured souls whose lives have been incomplete, unfinished. He offers them a second chance, and that second chance is reincarnation as demons like himself. This leaves the Yagyu clan with Jubei Yagyu, played by Sonny Chiba, and his father, played by Tomisaburo Wakayama. And those two are really the only ones that are capable of fighting against them. It's basically Christians versus the shogunate, the movie. And it all just makes for a fun time. This is by no means like Samurai Rebellion or Harakiri. It's nothing serious, but, you should expect that from a Sonny Chiba film. But, sometimes you're not always in the mood for something that's just super serious and realistic. Whenever Sonny Chiba just grabs that cool hat, an eye patch, and a sword, you know it's about to get fun. And you can't really get that anywhere else. As a samurai film, this does have a good amount of action scenes and just dramatic moments. It makes it stand out. And they're all of a classic variety. But the real showstopper is definitely the burning building fight. Just the way the fire burns, it's very impressive. And you just get this awesome fight scene in these flames. Real flames. You could tell it was very dangerous to all the actors, and you could never film this today. If they try doing it now, it would just be a bunch of crappy CGI. It looks totally stupid. So I definitely give all the actors credit in this. Alongside Chiba, we also get a supporting role from Hiroyuki Sanada. Everyone knows him, he's a huge star. But here, his role is a little bit different from his usual heroic stuff. This film is just really possessed with just a dark and brooding atmosphere throughout. It's very grim, it's haunting. In fact, it might be one of the moodiest Japanese films of the 80s. It's definitely an interesting film. So at the moment, I'm still working on my big Ron video. I'll try to get it out by next week, we'll see. I hope you all watch it, because it's a lot of work. And I was just gonna take the whole month off just to work on that, but I didn't really want to go just weeks without posting anything, so this was sort of like a quicker, smaller video. Anyway, please subscribe, join my Patreon, you could join me on Discord, and just thanks for watching.